DPV. I'm Josh, and today got my buddy Conrad in the shop, and we're working on his Ranger. We have a pretty good feeling that we've lost a head gasket. So in this episode, in this video, we are going to tear it down all the way down to the bare short block, so we can get those heads into the cylinder head shop, have them rebuilt, and then get it back buttoned up. So today will be a teardown video. There's a lot going on the top of this engine, and so I will put timestamps in the description below of all the different components. So if you're looking for a specific part of the process, I'll make sure that's timestamped for you. So let's get after it.
Yeah.
All right, we got the coil pack off. That was covering like the fuel rail, so we got all the wires for the injectors pulled. Air intake tube, bunch of wires. This is the throttle cable. We just pulled it out of the way. On this engine, it's the 3.0 V6. The coolant goes into the intake, so it must be to like heat up the incoming air. So we had to drain the coolant earlier than I expected to, because I pulled these off and just like sprayed fluid everywhere. Draining the coolant now, and we'll start pulling these radiator hoses and heater hoses and whatnot. Here, the bucket's right there. All right, we got the fan and fan clutch out, and I have never seen this before, but on this Ford there's a little hex shape on the shaft, and I thought that was to hold so you could get the bolts out of the pulley, but that is actually how the fan comes off. You can see that's threaded. It's a left-hand thread, and it just threads right off the end of the water pump. So we're gonna check and see if this water pump has been leaking. I noticed like the shaft is kind of, those bearings are not good. So there's a chance that this might not be a head job, it might be a water pump job, hopefully. AC is out of the way. Got the power steering bracket all pulled. There are two bolts down here on the side of the block that kind of hard to get to. They hold on a couple metal brackets that hold on some wiring and whatnot. So there's two of them like this. So this nut holds on some brackets that hold on some hoses and wiring. And then you gotta get to that, so pull this nut off. Pull that little bracket off. I don't know if you can see it down there or not. Right there. So we're hoping this can just sit there out of the way. I think we're about ready to start pulling this intake off. Conrad got all the plugs and wires off this side. He's getting ready to do that exhaust manifold. The water pump looks dry, so I think unfortunately we're gonna have to go all the way down to the heads, which is fine. But we will replace the water pump because this shaft is a little loosey-goosey. Moving right along. All right, about ready to pull this intake off. There is a bracket under here with one bolt you gotta pull, and then it's supposed to be the map sensor or something. But I just left the vacuum lines connected so we don't have to remember where they're at, and unbolted it from the intake there. And then I think the brake booster is back there, and then this will pop right off. I think we got a head gasket issue. Look at that, that's where the milky oil is.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Those brackets.
These two?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what
good.
I'm trying. Yep.
All right, now I'm gonna pull this intake off. Looks like we've got torque spit. We're gonna just leave the fuel rails on so we don't have to try to pull those injectors out.
No.
What's up?
Rubber bolt.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay, so I labeled that box over there. These, it's very important that everything goes back where it came from.
Okay. So your engine oil is just all throughout there. This just dipstick just goes down to the bottom.
Right, yeah, to see what the level is in your oil pan.
Yeah.
In that oil pan, there's a pickup tube with a screen on it, basically, so you don't pick up chunks of garbage.
Sure.
Anything got in there. And that tube goes up to the oil pump, and that pump pressurizes through. It feeds the crank first, usually, and then it'll push up into your cam. And it pressurizes the cam through all these like passageways through the block. This is the engine block, the biggest piece of metal.
Yeah.
And when it pressurizes through those passageways, it also shoots oil up through the middle of your push rods.
Oh, okay.
So that's how the oil gets up into the top of the head there. But in the cylinder walls, you don't want oil in the combustion chamber. Pistons have 3 rings on them that are kind of spring steel, and they push up against the cylinder walls. And there's oil that shoots up in through the piston in between those rings. Does lubricate the cylinder wall so you don't have metal on metal.
Right.
But one of the rings is like a squeegee almost. It's
clearing that
it keeps oil around the piston only, but you're not
stuck
burning oil.
in this. Got it.
So once the cylinder walls or those rings start wearing out, that's when you start seeing your car smoke.
Got it.
Or that's one way your car can
Right.
burn oil. You
Yeah.
can also, there's seals around these valve stems, and if they are worn, then oil can leak down into your combustion chamber that way.
Oh, got it.
That'll be all taken care of when you take your heads in. Come out now. Oh yeah. All right, we getting close. It's a little milky in there too, so hopefully everything's good, but we'll do a short oil change. That way, hopefully it'll clean all that stuff out and start pulling the heads. Got the shop vac ready, because when you pull the heads, a lot of times it just fills the cylinders up with coolant. So we'll want to clean that up quick. There we go. I don't know why I waited until now to bust this. All right, we got it all tore down. Just got the water pump off. So we've got lots of cleaning to do now. We're thinking that it might have been an intake gasket leak, actually leaking from this water port here into the oil there. But it could have been a head gasket. I didn't see anywhere on the heads that it was like obviously leaking. But on the intake, it did look like it possibly was leaking there. So anyway, we'll get these to the cylinder head shop, have them rebuilt, and then get all these parts cleaned up. So the next time you see the Ranger, we'll be putting it back together.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great day. So anyway, yeah, when Conrad asked me about the truck, he's like, man, is it even worth fixing? And I think it totally is. This Ranger's like super clean. I think it'd be an awesome pre-runner. But Elsa probably doesn't want it to be a desert race truck.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Maybe we'll build it a desert race truck for Burke.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So anyway, it's super clean, and I think it's totally worth, you know, fixing it up. It's low mileage and everything. So anyway, if you want to support the channel, we got merch on Teespring. Link it in the description below. You can shop on Amazon via any of the links in the description. Become a Patreon. It's like a per month subscription support system. And last but not least, just like, share, and subscribe. All right, that's all we got for you. Wheel it, wreck it, wrench it, repeat. We'll see you next time.